You know, there's a huge hidden health crisis happening right now in India, and it's affecting millions. But what if I told you the solution isn't some high-tech new discovery, but actually an ancient grain that's been hiding in plain sight? Let's dive in and unpack this.
Okay, just look at this number, 71%. That's how many Indians between 30 and 55 are dealing with poor muscle health. And the main reason? A massive, widespread lack of protein in their diet. It's staggering.
So you have to ask, right? How did we get here? For a country with such an incredible history of food and spices, what's really going on behind the scenes to cause this deficiency?
Well, to really get it, we've got to explore what many are calling India's protein paradox.
Now, this is where it gets really surprising. A lot of people might think this is just a vegetarian issue, but nope, not at all. Get this, a whopping 91% of vegetarians are protein deficient, and so are 85% of non-vegetarians. Most people are only getting about 0.6 grams of protein per kilo of body weight when they really need closer to 0.8 or even 1.0 gram.
And this really puts it all into perspective. The ideal diet should get around 29% of its calories from protein. The typical Indian diet? Only 6 to 8%. That's not just a small gap, that's a massive nutritional canyon we're talking about.
So where's the problem coming from? Well, the answer might be in the very thing that makes up the bulk of most meals.
Believe it or not, about 60% of all protein that people in India consume comes from cereals, rice and wheat. And this is the key, the most important part. Not all protein is created equal. Quality is just as important as quantity.
So this chart here is called the DIAS score. It's basically a report card for protein, measuring how well our bodies can actually use it. And as you can see, things like milk and eggs are at the top of the class. But look way down at the bottom. That's where you find rice, wheat, and corn. They have really low scores. And when 60% of your protein is coming from the bottom of the list, you can see how this whole crisis started.
And you might be thinking, well, what about dairy? It's a great source of protein, especially for vegetarians. But here's another hurdle. Milk production growth in India has actually slowed down to a 15-year low, so one of the best and most reliable protein sources is becoming less available.
Okay, so the problem seems pretty complex. But what if the answer is simpler and way more ancient than we think? It's time to talk about a forgotten superfood.
Let's talk about small millets. These are ancient grains that have been around for centuries. They are unbelievably tough. They can grow in really harsh climates where other crops just give up. And on top of that, they're absolute nutritional powerhouses.
And we're not just talking about one grain here. It's like a whole super team of millets, and each one has its own special power. You've got finger millet or ragi, which is amazing for your bones. Then there's foxtail millet, which can help with diabetes. And barnyard millet? Great for your heart. It's an entire family of super grains.
All right, so let's get into the nitty-gritty. Let's actually unpack the data and see what makes these little grains so special. Hey, remember we were talking about protein quality? Well, this is where millets just completely steal the show. Proso millet, for instance, has 54% more of the essential amino acids than wheat does. That means your body can use it way more effectively to build and repair itself.
But the magic doesn't stop with protein. Oh no! Let's talk about finger millet or ragi. This stuff is a calcium champion. We're talking a massive 344 milligrams of calcium per 100 grams. That's over 10 times what you find in most other grains. Incredible for keeping bones strong.
And then you've got barnyard millet, which is just loaded with iron, over 15 milligrams per 100 grams. This makes it a crucial tool for fighting iron deficiency and anemia, which is another really common health problem.
And honestly, the list just keeps going. On top of everything else, millets are gluten-free, they have a low glycemic index, which is fantastic for managing blood sugar, and they're packed with fiber, B vitamins, and antioxidants. They really are the whole package.
But you know, millets aren't just a solution for today's health issues. They are an absolutely critical crop for building a healthier, more sustainable future for everyone.
Now, scientists are using this really cool process called biofortification. Don't let the word scare you. All it means is they're using modern science to naturally boost the vitamins and minerals in these crops. It makes these already amazing grains even more powerful against something called hidden hunger. That's when you get enough calories, but you miss out on those crucial micronutrients.
And the way they do it is fascinating. First, they find the absolute best native seeds. Then, they use amazing genomic tools to find the exact genes that create those high nutrient qualities.
Through really smart, targeted breeding, they enhance those traits. And then, after a lot of testing, they release these new, supercharged millet varieties to farmers.
So it all comes down to this one simple, powerful idea. As resilient, climate-smart crops, small millets present a sustainable solution for food security. They're good for us, and they're good for the planet.
And that brings us to one last big question. As we're all searching for these modern, high-tech solutions to our biggest problems, maybe, just maybe, we need to look back. Could the real future of food actually be found in the ancient wisdom of our past?